Hello, you beautiful people. It's good to see you here. Wow. I don't know if any of you got our message that we had Sharon send earlier today, but this is going to be the last time we're going to be in circle for a while. But we are here, and you are there, and we are together. So, blessings to all of you. Sananda here. And I just have to tell you, as usual, Sharon's going like, you know what you're going to say? I don't know what you're going to say. I mean, she's over there just like stewing in the stew. And I tell you that because I think you may relate to being able to trust that inner voice that sometimes you hear that go like, do you know what you're talking about? Who are you? I don't, am I making this up? And no, you're connected. We know you. So here we are. What is going on in your world? Rocking and rolling. And it is shaking so many people to the core because they do not know what to do, how to do, and you do. You do. You all understand the bigger picture of remodeling this world according to what you are holding. And those of you who know how you hold the blueprint and everything rearranges and rearranges. And there are so many in the world who don't even know that they have the opportunity or the responsibility to hold a blueprint, even for themselves, let alone their relationship and their family. And so they're shaken in ways that you aren't. So we just want to again affirm to you that you are blueprint holders and vision seers, and we're working together as a team. There is a lot going on in the unseen worlds, as always, but more so right now because of the opportunities that you guys have called into place. And I'm speaking of you in this group as maybe the tip of the iceberg of many others who understand they are blueprint creators too. So it's not like you're somehow unique and alone. There's a network who understand that they have opportunity and authority to write the blueprint for the next phase of Earth life. So here you've visioned, you've healed, you've called for, and we are in a really major time of dismantling and restoring and building new. So therefore, we're taking Sharon offline of a lot of the outward expressions of her specific experiential wisdom. And we mention that because she isn't unique in that either. This is a time to consider what is your specific experiential wisdom package. What is it that you know, love, are passionate about? And how can you put that into action steps? I'll use Sharon as an example because you know her work, and you know her has always been about teaching, and sharing the galactic landscape and the application of the information she got from us about that galactic landscape. That's her unique experiential wisdom and passion, and she has been um, sharing that those ideas, those wisdoms, those concepts in a lot of ways, as you know. So what we are asking her to do for a time is to not worry about sharing, but she knows us, and instead work with us in action. Those who have already shared information back and forth with her have got it. She's got what they know. But we have a lot of blueprints, if you will, ready to be anchored on the planet and activated energetically right now. And that's what we are calling her to do, to be part of that, holding the bigger concept of the plans, helping to activate them, heal anything that's in the way of them. So do the similar things to what she might do for a person, but we're doing it inwardly for humanity and of course Gaia. So if you think about that in relationship to your specific passion, check in with your group, your teachers, with us. How can you be most effective, and where are you most powerfully called? Maybe through the summer, maybe through the fall, but certainly for the next few months, to be part of a bigger team. And do not distrust if you feel the call from those in spirit whose names you have put on a pedestal, and you feel that call and they say, I am, and I need your help. Don't distrust that. Don't distrust that. So to give you an idea, your passion, what kind of excites you, and it might be sitting in the sun or under the shade of a tree, calling in, doing energy, activating. It might be all, nobody else would know how powerful you are or what you're doing. That's not the measure of your participation. Taking time to say, what am I so passionate about? What is it that makes my delicious juices come alive? And what would that look like if it were in a form? Or show me the vision of what that could look like in form, so that we see your spark that you've claimed. We know your spark. You have many sparks, actually, but we know your spark. But what spark in this moment comes alive for you? And you're holding that energy and you're just sparking with it. We will see that, and then you can say, this is what I see for my family. This is what I see for my life. This is what I see for humanity. And then we can direct you to the correct team with that particular plan. It's in place. It's already there. The things that have been in the way of the visions that the divine families initially had. What does peace look like? What does intuitive knowingness look like? What does curiosity look like when it's benefiting everybody? That's the original visions, and they've been so covered up and crippled and twisted, and you've had to kind of walk in the mud and wonder what in the world you're doing on this planet. But so much has been cleared and cleared and cleared that the immensity of those original agendas are alive and well. So find your spark. What's the vision? What is it for you? And I say, okay, where's my team? Because the plan's in place, and it's in place in a bigger, more expansive way than you can even imagine. And if you get a name as your touch point, trust it. If you don't get a name, trust it. That's the phase we're moving into. Action steps, and you're the one who will participate in the way that is most juicy for you. Okay. So Gabrielle wants to come in. There's been a lot of talk in the last few weeks about that expansive cluster called Laniakea, in which your Milky Way sits. The immensity is beyond anything that we could even say to you. Like here I am, Gabriel. I'm vibrationally steps below the totality also, because I can bring information in. So can you even comprehend what that experience is in that Laniakea landscape? Laniakea is a landscape that you could see. It's not imagination. It's not an imaginary place. It is documented. And how much documentation do we like here on the physical plane? But it can give you a sense of source, of home, in its expansiveness and of its inclusiveness of you. You're not out there floating in a place all by yourself. You are moving. You are moving within your system, within the solar system, within the Earth system, within the Milky Way system. There's a rhythm, there's a movement, there's an aliveness, there's intelligence. And the only way you maybe could get a taste of it is just going into the stillness and asking to get a sense of it. To make that part of your wisdom of this is where I fit. It's not like, oh my gosh, Earth is just a little speck in an unimportant way. No, that's not it. Earth and then you are an alive, intelligent, creative flow and form within all of it. All of it. And if you spend time there, what will that do to the boxes that we construct, that this is what life is, this is who I am, this is truth? What will it do to those boxes? So I just wanted to step in to just cheer on your connection into Laniakea. There's aliveness there. And wherever there is breath of aliveness, there's intelligence there. It isn't inert. You may not understand it. I may not understand it. but I certainly can allow myself to feel the dance there, to feel the embrace there. And in that, notice anything in my awareness that wants to pull me down. Unplug, unplug, unplug. Which then brings us back to Gaia. I am going to say again, please continue calling for the absolute elimination of the shell around our space we call Earth and the Earth atmosphere, and that shell that traps us. It traps our breath. It traps our ability to connect with and flow. We are told that the toxins that are building up within that shell are our problem, our fault. They're natural. You are always going to have entropy. There's entropy with every breath, with every action you take. You cannot eliminate that. So to try and eliminate actions that cause toxins isn't the answer. It's recognizing that those outside dominating societies put a very strong shell boundary around this Earth mission group to control, dominate, and use. Continue to work to say to the team that's in process, what do you need from me today? I am breathing fully. Gaia is breathing fully. We flow within the greater expanse of Laniakea. Whatever declaration you declare, law is ask, so that we can do it. Not that I'm saying we, I mean the greater teams in the unseen can do it. And get rid of that shell. We're making progress. And you'll know when they say, okay, what your part is done, your part's done. There is so much control in your world, in the world of humanity, which then is my world, because you're here. I invited you here. There is so much control, mind fog, mind domination. That, don't buy it. I don't think you do. I don't think you do. But eliminating that broadcasting is also really important. There's so much that this group can do and does, because you understand a bigger picture, that you don't get crippled. Not that you don't get saddened, because you do. When 21 individuals are shot dead in a school, totally unneedful, totally not right. And you know, there is a lot within that situation that you could say this and this and this and this. What is out picturing? What has been planted in the psyche of humanity's unconscious field that says it's okay for an individual to carry around a war weapon along the streets of any place? Or weapons do what? Weapons solve problems. Weapons keep us safe. Who planted that seed? And who's going to eliminate it? Who planted the seed that children on this planet are there to be used at the discretion of outsiders? Fuel their factories for their voyeuristic attractions? Who and where is that seed? And who is going to eliminate it? Who planted the seed that says elected officials can deceive and excuse themselves with having no benefit for the humanity that they're elected to represent? Who planted the seed that they're not accountable to build good? Who planted that seed? And who's going to eliminate it? Who planted the seed that says the answer is guns in the hands of teachers and greater armor for police? Who planted that seed? And who's going to eliminate it? You know, fortunately, you all have the understanding that the law says that you in a physical body, especially souls in female bodies, have the authority, an innate authority, to speak to those in the unseen world and be heard, and your declarations to be acted on. And that word can be given in an instant. In an instant. And it can be empowered and strengthened if you sit with it for 17 seconds a day or 30 minutes a day. It will be strengthened. We're moving over to Sophia. I don't think we've heard from Sophia before. I don't know. My sisters. If you look at the stand that the citizens in Ukraine have been making, their commitment from day one, and I'm just talking about the latest invasion, their commitment from day one is this is our land. This is ours. This is where we've lived and loved and had our families, and we've grown crops, and this is our land. And their stand was like, no, not yours. Not yours. And we will not bend in the face of this supposedly big country that planned that they could, take that land in a day or two or three. They didn't stop saying, no, not ours. Not yours, it's ours. And there is that element within the human consciousness. Yes, there is distress, and yes, is there's fear, and yes, there's the confusion. All of that, absolutely. But also what we're seeing is that rising up of Enough is enough is enough and is enough. What can you do to feed it? What can you do? Because you know the truth of it. What can you do to feed that network? What were the countries, what were the individuals in Ukraine? Ukraine's a pretty good model, except we don't want to have to do bombings and encourage war. But those citizens stood up, the leaders stood up, First Lady stood up, and they didn't say, we're going to run away and take all the money with us. That's happened in other countries. The leaders like, let's take the bank account and we're out of here. Too bad, citizens. That didn't happen in Ukraine. We're standing and it's ours. And those around the world who felt that call of, no, you're not taking it, began to find ways to come with their training to contribute to up the forces of the army, to bring food, to create pathways. There was a swelling up of coming together with those who had the skills to help with that stand. And there is an energy that is there rising within humanity. And it's not just women, but I'm speaking to you because it's first our assignment, that says no. Backbone, no. Some of those voices don't even know that there are so many others in the energy network they're a part of. You do. Let's feed that. Those women in spirit who are with me, who are holding their female identity for that very purpose. Sharon calls us the Sophia Collective, I think, because it's not just me. There's many, many souls who've retained the identity as female for now to help you. And you anchor what we are, what you are, you anchor it. No more powerful place to be at any time than in a physical bodysuit on the planet. What would happen if we also started to just feed that network and fire that network and encourage and vision that network rising up in whatever way they all felt to do? That would be kind of cool to watch, don't you think? So that's why we're going to stop the Sundays right now. Not because we don't love being with you, and not that we don't get something from you, and I'm hoping you get something from us. But we want you to do what you know you can and have. Where in that team are you going to be connecting so that when we come together again, and we will, it might be like, report in. Deborah, what about your team? What are they saying? Emma, your team, what are they doing? Nancy, your team, what are they doing? Arlie and Sharon. It might be a report in type of meeting. Who knows? Because there's so many plans out here and they need anchored. Activate. And you know how to do it. So, turning it back to Sananda, because he's Sharon's touch point, and she usually opens, closes. We're getting close to time to close. So thank you all for being here. It's going to be, you want instant. So many of you want instant. We want instant too. And there's something that happens with somebody whose foot is still in the mud and it's their job to pull that foot out. Everything else is out. So it's easier because of you, but they're the one who have to get the foot extracted. So understand that too. Let's get as much cleared and energized as possible, so that when we energize that network that Sophia spoke of, those individuals just have to pull their foot out of the mud, and they don't even know by how quickly that happened. Like, surprise, surprise, magic. That's where we are hoping to go with you. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll meet again. Love you all.